Hey guys, Angus here, got another Airsoft product review for you guys. Today we've just got kind of a basic overview, being that we're taking a look at a pretty simple product. The items we're going to be taking a look at today are the new Raptor's Airsoft LiPo batteries for your Airsoft AEGs, obviously. And these are provided by raptorsairsoft.com. They are a wholesaler, so if you're actually interested in purchasing them, there'll be links down below in the description to airsoftstation.com where you can buy each of the 3 different LiPos we have here. Now, being these are just batteries, really not a huge amount I can say about them, but we'll go over some advantages to using the LiPos. In this case, first thing I want to point out is these are very affordable, so if you're someone who's just kind of looking, maybe I want to try a LiPo, maybe I don't, these might be good ones to pick up because they run you, different prices for each, about anywhere from $15 to $25. These are very affordable. The main disadvantage with a LiPo, in my opinion, being that for those of you who are just getting into them, you also have to buy a LiPo charger because you can't just charge these in your regular Airsoft NiCad or 9-nickel hydrate battery chargers. Now, as you can see, we've got 2 7.4 volt LiPos here, as well as an 11.1 volt up top. Each of them has a small or mini connector, as well as obviously the head for when you charge them on your LiPo charger. Now, personally, I actually use these in a game. I do use LiPos pretty common, not 11.1s, I use 7.4s. And the cool thing about the 7.4s, they're basically a healthier 9.6. At least that's what I consider them. People are always kind of worried, can I use that? I don't know if my gun's LiPo ready, but 7.4 volts, you can go ahead and slap them in your regular AEG. They're basically give you a slightly better output than a 9.6 volt. So these are awesome. As you can see, the little one down at the bottom, 850 milliamp, the bigger one, 1200 milliamp. The 11.1 volt 1200 milliamp LiPo we have up top. This is obviously the kind of battery you'd see in those guys in the field with the stock AEGs, just sporting an insane rate of fire. That's more so what airsofters will use the 11.1s for if they want a high rate of fire, which is great. The disadvantage being, though, that it does wear your gun out a little bit faster. So personally, I don't use 11.1s. I really do prefer the 7.4s. Now, another advantage to the LiPos is that you do get the same amount of power in a smaller package. You don't have to have a big old battery there, so you can go ahead and slip these into thinner spaces. Say you have maybe an AK AEG where it's got the top cover style battery, takes a stick type. You could slide one of these in pretty easy. Say a buffer tube battery, the Sten Mark II AEGs have that weird compartment. You have a crane stock, anything like that. These are smaller, so they slide in there rather nicely, and you don't have to worry about getting a weird battery set up custom to fit your gun. So that certainly is an advantage with the LiPo batteries as well. Another thing to point out is when compared to the NiCads, the 9-nickel hydrate, and something that certainly is relevant to this time of year, these are less affected by cold. Say you take your AEG out of the game on a chilly day, 30 degrees, you'll notice your NiCads and 9-nickel hydrates die a little bit faster, but the LiPos aren't as affected as heavily, so you'll get a little bit better of a healthier battery on a winter day, lasts a little bit longer, still give you a better output with these LiPos. That certainly is an advantage in my opinion, because when I'm on the field, I like to have my gun actually work. So certainly an advantage to have on a cold day are the LiPos. Overall, they're pretty nice batteries. Like I said, I did have a chance to test them out in the field. You're probably thinking, they're kind of cheapy LiPos. Does that mean they're, cheap, actually? I didn't really think so. They worked perfectly fine. If you watched my recent head cam video, I was using a LiPo in that gun, and they did actually work out pretty well. No issues as far as charging goes. Had a little bit of issues at first with the 850 milliamp battery, that being the $15 one, but I did manage to get it working, and it turned out to give me a pretty decent output as well. So really, with that being said, this has just been a quick overview of the Raptor's Airsoft LiPos. The main thing to stress here, these are affordable batteries. Those of you guys looking to maybe get into the LiPo setup, less affected by cold, and they squeeze into those areas rather nicely, and they're a little bit of a healthier battery as well. And hey, don't worry about wrecking your gun unless you want to jack it up with 11.1 volt, because these 7.4s, they're excellent for just the average airsofter trying to get a decent output out of his AEG. So thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe.